fisherman, ja, Maria, fisherman. Du kannst du einen Wein, der Rolle kriegen Wein. Hurra, hurra, hurra!
Fur trapper Clint Walker's friendly relationship with the Sioux Indians seems to be on a downward path when they attack the US cavalry in our next film on 2 in half an hour, Yellowstone Kelly.
When my mum and dad split up, Dad moved out. For a bit, there wasn't anyone else around, just us.
What an aged man.
I don't know where she met him. Gerald Faulkner.
He is, he's completely bald.
I simply couldn't bear him.
Ta-da!
You look amazingly lovely, Rosalind.
You goggle eyes!
Honestly, I spent so much time thinking up fatal accidents for Goggle Eyes. I was sometimes astonished to find him still alive.
Goggle Eyes, tomorrow 9:25 on BBC2.
And now on BBC2 we find out from Barry Norman what's coming soon to our nearest big screen in film 93.
Tonight, Mel Gibson goes back to the future in Forever Young. We see the Oscar-nominated Catherine Deneuve in Indochine, and we'll be talking to Richard Gere and Jodie Foster about Summersby. Good evening. About 30 minutes into The Distinguished Gentleman, I suddenly remembered why I used to be so enthusiastic about Eddie Murphy. No, don't get carried away. I'm not saying this is a great film, because it isn't. But Murphy's performance is as good as anything he's done since the dazzling 48 Hours, and far better than the dross he's been serving up in recent years. The situation is that Mr. Murphy goes to Washington, Murphy being a professional con man who gets himself elected to Congress simply because he has the same name as the recently deceased member for Florida. The thinking here, of course, is that most people don't really know whether their representative is dead or alive anyway, and I dare say that applies to the House of Commons as much as Congress.
Members only.
Oh, we're going up to Congressman Johnson's office.
I hate to be the one to tell you, but Congressman Johnson died.
I'm the new congressman. I'm Congressman Johnson, and this is my staff here.
I'm sorry, Congressman, I didn't see your pen. In fact, I still don't see your pen.
What pen?
Your member of Congress pen. I'm gonna have to look you up.
I'm in the book under Johnson, Thomas Johnson, congressman.
Thomas Jefferson Johnson.
Yeah, I'm the man.
No picture available.
Oh, wait a second. I have my driver's license. Got the picture in late. Here, if I can get it out. Driver's license.
Oh.
See, same cat.
How could I ever have doubted you? Where to?
We're going up to 518.
Well, the elevator only goes to 4. You'll have to take the stairs from there. Are you going to be grabbing my ass like old Congressman Johnson?
Oh, no, I would never grab your ass.
Well, you said that awful fast. What's wrong with my ass?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with your ass. I'm just, I'm the new congressman, and I ain't be doing none of his old things he did. I ain't gonna grab nobody's old ass. I mean, I ain't gonna grab nobody's ass. Hey, I think we're on the 4th floor. I'll grab it.
His motive for going into politics is that Washington is where the most lucrative scams go on, and he wants his share of the action. With an unerring nose for corruption, he immediately attaches himself to the biggest political con man of them all, Lane Smith, and in conjunction with him and a crooked businessman, Joe Don Baker, seems all set for an honourable and distinguished career lining his own pockets. But then, and I tell you nothing you won't rapidly guess for yourselves, he falls for Victoria Rowell, niece of incorruptible Congressman Charles S. Dutton, and a hitherto unsuspected better nature comes to the fore. Now, the film bears only a casual resemblance to the Frank Capra classic Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. In the script by Marty Kaplan, a former speechwriter for Walter Mondale, there's a sprinkling of political satire, but most of it is light and obvious. A shame, really, that the director, Jonathan Lynn, couldn't inject the kind of sharpness he showed with Yes Minister. On the other hand, and give or take some drooling sentimentality about a young cancer victim, the distinguished gentleman is bright and amusing enough.
You see, we feel that the semi-automatic weapon's gotten a bad rap. Now, the gun control nuts try to make out that they're for drug dealers only, but, well, really, they're just guns for the ordinary sportsman.
Then like a nice warm Uzi. Must have had a heart attack.
Murphy, discarding the irritating and ingratiating mannerisms that, alas, have recently become his trademark, is relaxed, confident and very likeable. And there's a wealth of eye-catching performances from the likes of Smith and Baker, Grant Shord as a kind of political fixer and gopher, and Cheryl Lee Ralph as Murphy's cousin and partner in corruption. Even so, there's a sense of an opportunity missed. What could have been a savagely funny political satire, with a shiv being slipped in between the short ribs, is in the end simply a gentle political. Now, though, to the top 10 films in London. At 10, Honeymoon in Vegas, wherein Nicolas Cage loses his fiancée, Sarah Jessica Parker, in a poker game. 9, Damage, Jeremy Irons MP drops his trousers and loses his career in a graphic but chilly tale of erotic obsession. 8, As a River Runs Through It, Robert Redford's elegy to growing up in turn-of-the-century Montana. And 7, Consenting Adults, Kevin Kline and Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio, wasted in a silly thriller. At 6, Leon the Pig Farmer, an inventive, amusing British comedy shot on an ultra-low budget. 5 is Toys, Robin Williams hams it up in an unusual but disappointing comic fable.
4, Under Siege, Steven Seagal action thriller, low drama on the... 3, Orlando, Till the Sex and Centuries, in a witty adaptation of Virginia Woolf's novel. 2, Malcolm X, Spike Lee's 3.5-hour biopic about the controversial black rights activist. And at number 1, The Scent of a Woman, featuring Al Pacino's Oscar-nominated performance as a blind ex-serviceman coming to terms with his life. Well, as soon as the title of Mel Gibson's latest comes on screen, you just know you're in for a weepy. I mean, what else could you possibly expect from a film called Forever Young? Well, it doesn't let you down, it is a weepy. It's the story of how dashing test pilot Gibson loses the love of his life, Isabel Glasser, when in 1939 she walks in front of a speeding truck. Gibson is so desolated that he agrees to be frozen for a year. Conducted by scientist friend...
Harry, I can't watch her die. I want to sleep for a year.
Look, you've been through an awful lot.
I thought this through.
No, forget it.
I've been in the service for 12 years.
Danny, this is
I'm
silly.
military. I'm healthy. I got no family. I got nowhere to go. I know tests. I know experiments. It's my job. I'm perfect. You know.
I'll work for a year. Harry, let me do it. Please. I can't think anymore. Until it's over.
You said yourself that doctors can be wrong. That's true, you know.
If she gets better, wake me up.
pretty extreme reaction to loss, if you ask me. Besides, if Gibson had ever seen Wendt propping up the bar in Cheers, he might be so eager to go ahead. And he would have been right. By the time Rip Van Gibson is accidentally awakened by a couple of kids, it's already 1992. Even worse, the cryogenic experiment was so secret that hardly anybody knows about it. Still, Gibson adapts with enviable ease to the changed world in which he finds himself, and besides is befriended by Jamie Lee Curtis and her little lad, Elijah Wood, so it's not all bad news.
Yes.
Are you Nat Cooper?
Okay?
Okay.
Jeez. I just want to know how I got this jacket. All right. Just you.
We went to the warehouse to fix Brother Stephen, like I said, and we weren't supposed to. And we saw that big metal thing, and we thought it was a submarine. And we opened it up somehow, and you were inside. That's all, right? Right.
There were no guards there? No doctors, no one?
No, sir. Just a bunch of junk.
Junk?
This heavy-handed way comes looking for him. He, meanwhile, is aging rapidly. Well, he's got to be 80-odd by now, so it's not too surprising, and is tottering off on a more romantic quest of his own. If all this strikes you as a lot of tear-jerking tosh, well, that's exactly what it is. Cynic. Well, a bit. In addition, there are splendid special effects, makeup and the like, and a cunning score by Jerry Goldsmith. So my advice to those who cry easily is to spread a large handkerchief across your bosom and sob happily away. Incidentally, if I were Macaulay Culkin, I'd be looking uneasily over my shoulder at young Elijah Wood. The boy's not half bad and could easily become the new #1 heartthrob of the smart kindergarten set. But now we move on to our special report on Summersby, a post-stars Richard Gere and Jodie Foster. By all accounts, it's a kind of return of Martin Gere revisited. After having he seems a changed man. When he left to go to war, he'd been a crude and violent lout, but has come home as a true gentleman.
So great is the transformation that many wonder if Summersby is an imposter.
I'd forgotten how beautiful you were. It's one of the most complex stories and complex characters that I've come across in a long time. Mystery piled on mystery, and the unraveling of that becomes the interest in the story. Deeply romantic, heartfelt story.
Certainly have changed, haven't we?
For the better?
So much better, it scares me sometimes.
Jack Summersby's wife, Laurel, played by Jodie Foster, is also bewildered by her reinvented or reconstructed husband, who seems too good to be true. During his absence, she'd been courted by a family friend, but Summersby rekindles such a deep love within her that she soon forgets the other man.
I love this idea of an unconventional woman stuck in an unconventional time, and how that struggle realizes itself. I guess I mean by that, here she is in a town, a very small community, with a minister as a father, set to marry a man that in some ways she never learned to love. Was born thinking that she couldn't really hope for anything, that her life would always be unfulfilled. And when this man comes back in her life, suddenly all those things change. And there's a great deal of self-deception that goes along with that.
Let me have that foot.
Jack Summersby also causes consternation in the town where he lives, especially when the cobbler finds his foot has shrunk 2 sizes.
Well, I'll be damned.
Your foot shrunk.
But many of the locals seem willing to forget, conveniently, that Summersby may be an imposter because he's come back as such a benevolent figure. Denial of reality is a constantly recurring theme in the film.
It's about masks, it's about lies, it's about how we need lies to exist. The irony of this, I think, is that the lies that these people tell each other and embrace allow a deeper truth to emerge, which is what we find at the end of the movie.
Why do we need lies in order to exist?
I think to keep us in motion. I think the truth itself is too hard to get at.
God, you are a hard-headed woman, Laurel.
And you are a stubborn idiot. You are not Jack Summersby, so why do you keep going on pretending that you are?
How do you know I'm not?
I know because...
How do you know, Laurel?
I know because...
How do you know?
I know because I never loved him the way that I love you.
The truth that emerges during the film is that the love between Summersby and his wife, Laurel, is absolutely pure, even though she knows her husband may not be the man he claims to be.
People will believe what they want to sometimes, and I believe, and this may be, I don't know, a little bit controversial, I guess, that if you really love somebody, you have to understand their own self-deceptions and love them despite it, and love them despite the horrible things that they hate about themselves. And that's, I think, is a great journey for her.
The love scenes do